started CrossFit in October 2017. I had some friends in Massachusetts that had done CrossFit for a long time, and they had been trying to get me to try it for a while, and I was just like, no, I don't really want to, but eventually I caved and I started, and from then I was honestly hooked. In high school and middle school, growing up, I always played sports. I was always competitive, soccer, softball, and going into college and graduating college, I kind of got away from that after not doing sports anymore, so I lost that ability to kind of let out my competitive side and kind of get the fulfillment that comes out of not necessarily like winning, but working towards achieving something that's not just like going through the motions. And I didn't get that just by going to the gym on campus or just running outside. I needed something bigger to work towards, and I realized that in CrossFit I was able to do that. Maybe through friendly competition with others, but mostly through competing within myself and always striving to do better than I did the day before or do a heavier weight than I did previously. When I started at Railroad, I was not even close to the person that I am today. And it's crazy to think about because you don't really pay attention to the growth you make until it's a year and a half, 2 years later, and you see how far you've come. But like physically, I was heavier than I've ever been. I was over 20 pounds heavier than I am now. I felt like crap in my skin, quite honestly, and when you don't feel good in the body that you're in, that transcends into every other area of your life. I didn't have confidence in myself. I just moved home after getting out of a relationship. I didn't have a job. Moving back with my parents, I was just not in a good place, on top of not feeling good about myself. So I was just in a very low state and kind of didn't know where to go from there. Railroad has helped my confidence in so many ways, from having what felt like none to having so much confidence in myself that I trust my abilities not only inside of the gym but outside of the gym too. Obviously I still have my doubts, that's normal, we all do, but I am confident waking up every day that whatever comes my way I can face it, and that's because of not only being able to accomplish difficult things inside of the gym, but also the people that I interact with inside of the gym, because everybody here is so loving and uplifting and cares about you, and they notice if you're not having a great day, and they'll do everything they can to make sure that your day is going to go well from this point on. And that's been huge, just in showing me that even if my day is hard, I have what it takes to get through that day and then make tomorrow better. Before Railroad, I've just always been super reserved and shy because I was always thinking about what other people were thinking about me, and that kind of kept me inside and prevented me from showing people who I really am. And once I started coming here, and then once I started working at Railroad, even when I first started working here and sitting behind the desk, I was scared to be like Sean, Lena, Nolan, and be like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I can't do that. But now I don't have a problem doing that. I can answer the phone, I can talk to the delivery people that come in, I can greet everyone, and it's fine and it's easy, and it doesn't feel like I need to hide. And that I've seen that transfer into my everyday life, and that's been so huge for me. And just like knowing my worth and knowing that I can be myself, and if somebody doesn't like that, that's fine, and if they do, that's great. I think the biggest thing I've learned since working here, I guess 2 things. The importance of reflecting on yourself and what you can do to constantly better yourself, not necessarily physically, but mentally and emotionally, and also taking the time to reflect on your relationships with other people and how I may perceive something one way, you may perceive it a different way, and kind of learning how to get on somebody else's level and see eye to eye. That's been really big for me in not only my own growth, but also forming more positive relationships, and also being able to work through potential issues or things that aren't going right and have them shift into a more positive way. When I started, I was, and I still am all for it, like tell everyone who asks me about it, like it's so great, like in short terms, but being able to share something that I love so much and that has changed me so much with the people that I love and the people that want to see me grow and I want to see them continue to grow has been so amazing for me, and seeing the difference that it makes in their lives too. Like my mom doing the nutrition program with Elena and seeing these awesome changes and creating these new habits, and then transferring those on to my dad, and my brother losing 20 plus pounds too, and feeling, I mean, he always walked around shirtless, but feeling better walking around shirtless and flexing all the time. It's cool to have us all involved in the same type of healthy lifestyle together. The hardest part is honestly just making yourself get started. You know, you have all these fears and thoughts and doubts before you make the phone call for the consult, or before you walk in the doors for your first class, and you build your situation up to be something more than it is, when in fact you're just really making one of the best decisions you can make for yourself. And for like the first few weeks or few months, I know for me, I had trouble comparing myself to the other athletes who had been here longer or who were stronger, and kind of getting down on myself for not being able to do the weight that I was supposed to do, and things like that. And you just have to really focus on just yourself in those times and your own growth, and kind of learn how to separate your, what you think you're supposed to be doing versus what you should be doing for yourself. So if the weight calls for 35, but 20 or 25 feels good for you today, that's okay. You're still getting in a good workout, you're still doing better than just sitting on the couch, and those are the types of things that you need to tell yourself when you start getting in your head, rather than, oh, I suck, I'm not doing a good job, I'm not strong enough, I shouldn't do this, and then you quit. Like, you need to just work on that positive reinforcement to get through those mental hurdles, and ultimately that's what leads to your mentality getting stronger, as well as getting stronger physically.